travellers to the haunted tavern with no name on the edge of space. He sees you when you're sleeping. He knows when you're awake. Santa? No, that's Grogar, the Eye Master in the corner there.
How many eyes does he have?
He has 17 eyes.
That's a weird number of eyes.
It's an odd number of eyes, isn't it?
It's a prime number, too.
Perhaps he's got one big one in the centre, I don't know.
Like a dick eye?
I mean, maybe.
17 seems like a small number of eyes to be considered the eye master.
Eye monster?
I mean, they're big eyes.
They're big?
They're big eyes. But
How big is this room?
I mean, you're pulling apart my narrative here.
What are the exact dimensions of the bar, Rich?
He's a really small guy with big eyes.
Okay.
There you go.
That makes sense.
He's like Gary Coleman covered in giant eyes.
Wasn't Gary Coleman covered in giant eyes? I remember him that way.
Welcome to Bros Before Prose, the comedy fiction podcast with 2 prompts, 3 stories, and infinite laughs. I'm one of your hosts, Rich Grognar, the Eye Master Masters. and with me, as always, is Jeff Pennington.
Hello.
And Josh Henderson.
Hi, I only guaranteed 17 laughs.
But they're big
I'm gonna
laughs.
be counting.
They're big laughs for my short story.
And one's a dick laugh.
Oh, of course it is.
The best kind of laugh.
Yeah.
This episode's prompts were dreams and countdowns. Fuck you,
Yes.
everyone who says I get that wrong.
No, you nailed
right.
it.
This is the first episode you've ever gotten it right, so...
He has to write it on his arm like fucking memento.
I've got one on each arm. I didn't even write them both on the same arm. I've got one on each arm.
Why are you writing them on... whatever.
I'm writing them big.
Works.
I've got 17
on your small
prompts.
arms.
He has to write around the eyes.
Yeah.
That's right.
This is technically, although we said last week was our Christmas special, but this one we snuck in before Christmas.
Yeah.
Although it's going to come out after Christmas.
It's going to come out after
Right.
Christmas. Or, the festive special, for if you don't celebrate Christmas or whatever.
Holiday
Holiday,
special.
festive.
Boxing Day is what you
Yeah,
guys
it's
call
our
it.
Boxing Day special. Perfect.
Yeah.
The Bros Before Pros holiday special starring Chewbacca's family.
Who is first this week? Jeff, you already told me, but I don't read.
I know who it is. It's me.
You don't read?
I read my own story.
read.
That's all I'm planning. That's all I intend to do on this podcast. Read my own work. I'm not reading
I
anyone
feel like
else's
last
work.
night when we were talking to each other, Rich was like, I don't want to see any of this. I'm trying to sleep.
To be
It's
fair,
Josh, then me, then you.
Oh, perfect.
Were you asleep? Is that what you're going to say?
Well, I've been so busy at work that I just want to die. I literally want to die
Yeah.
at the moment.
I feel that way too, and I'm not really that busy, but I just feel like that overall sense.
There's the Christmas period is like a vampire to me.
Yes.
Like I'm
Yes.
so cold all the time. I'm tired. I'm a real I'm Bob Cratchit over here. I'm on my last sixpence of soul.
It's really funny because I'm straight up a motherfucking Scrooge every year around this time.
I don't know. You got Jeff. Yeah, Jeff's. He's
I hate
not
Christmas
happy.
and also orphans. So.
Yeah.
Nothing pisses him off more.
Well,
than
I mean,
orphans.
what a drain on our economy, right?
Oh, I mean, pull yourself up already. Horatio
bootstraps.
Alger yourself.
Pull yourself up by your crutches and bootstraps.
Yeah.
By your Cratchits.
Pull yourself up by your stumpy legs that you roll around on that weird cart thing that people used to roll around on back when before like healthcare.
Exactly that.
You mean now in America?
Yeah, now,
Yeah.
America, yeah.
Now in your less developed country. Right.
It's a miracle, my legs.
So,
Great Christmas movie.
in our festive Boxing Day special, we're going to talk to you about those prompts that I mentioned earlier that I don't need to mention again, and we're
Yes.
going to start reading stories to you. Right. Sorry, did someone have something to say?
Do you have like dyslexia?
I just forget what I'm saying.
You're doing a lot of not reading for being on a writing and reading podcast.
I don't prepare my intros.
I'm just concerned.
Well, I mean, I am, as I say, Very, very tired. Please send help.
Okay. Well, I'll warm you up with my tale.
Oh, thanks.
I think we're all going to have some Christmas themes going, I feel like, this week.
I don't.
Nah.
Okay. Throw that out.
Probably should have checked that first.
Yeah. Well, my story is called Merry Crumbus to all, and to all a death night.
Ooh.
I'm on board already.
Yeah.
You're in? All right.
Get this Christmas shit out of the way early.
Yeah. Daranos is home to some of the most majestic landscapes and vistas this side of the three universes. It's because you guys are here, too.
It's good. It's good.
Oh,
Get it?
okay.
We're off to a great start. From the peaks of Mount Buttsmore to the giant forests of the maroon pine trees in California, the sights one could see are only limited by the person, or some say, genius God who created them. I bet he's a handsome God, too. Like a New York 12 on a bad day. And his peener, oh my God. I bet it's as long as a Daranos baker's dozen, which is actually 14, because 13 is a weird odd number, and I'm superstitious as all fuck. But not all of Big D is majestic or nice or moderately pleasant or habitable in any sense of the term. Southern Daranos is such a place. Sure, there's the cat desert where the cat people come from, because geographically that would make sense from a lore standpoint, but until someone pays for, wants to make a map of Daranos, we're not going to worry about that. Southern Daranos is also home to the Deep Swamp. A swamp so backward and desolate that only a truly stubborn and uneducated people would be able to eke out a meager living in a place that not only smells like a rotten foot, but that a rotten foot is also their state bird. Crumbus, get in here, yelled Britannia Spears to her husband from inside their mud hut. Yeah, keep your ratty-ass shabby rags on. I'm a-comin', Crumbus yelled back. The 6-foot-tall troll was a proud dirt farmer in these parts, and as he wiped his brow with the sweat, he lowered a rickety wheelbarrow full of fresh, clean dirt. Brown gold, they called it. As Crumbus entered his hut, he could barely hear himself over the cacophonous sound of his two children, Killy and Brud, fighting over the all-sea ball. It's my turn to watch Flamingo Dynasty, yelled Brud, wrenching the ball away from his sister. Them's not even real birds, Killy said as she tugged back. Crumbus, did you get the children their Orksmas presents yet? Britannia Spears questioned, and her husband squinting her eyes, already knowing the answer. As soon as this dirt harvest comes in, Brett, I'm gonna go get them each new tattered rags and pick up a new bone car oil catalog for Brud. Crumbus, you say that every year, and every year you forget to buy our own flesh and blood Orksmas presents, and I'm tired of being the only hillbilly stereotype around these parts to fulfill each and every stereotype of a backward, uneducated, disenfranchised people every dang year.
This is hitting pretty close to home so far.
Britannia finished, fanning herself like Southern ladies do for some reason.
What, you don't like dirt? Wrap some dirt up.
Fresh, clean dirt, dude. I'll think of something, Brett. I promise this Orksmas is going to be different. Fine, take it, Brud said, finally relenting the all-sea ball. This caused Killy to jump up and down in her tube top, which made the audience go, woo! And do Wolf House, because that was the thing that was on real TV once, and everyone just went with it. So I'm pretty sure I can write a story about trolls who fuck within their own gene pool.
No.
As the days rolled on, life remained pretty much the same for the dirt farming Spears family. The dirt harvest came in, and Crumbus still hadn't figured out how he was going to give his children the Orksmas they deserved. He sat on his throne of bones recliner forgot I wrote that. And looked up at the mantle where the family coat of arms hung for generations. The coat was just an Ouroboros, but instead of snakes eating their own tails, it was of scaled dicks going into vaginas. It symbolized the Spears family tree, which was just a circle. A genetic cesspool that was filthier than those little kid pools at public pools that are really warm, and you can't tell if it's because the water is shallow and the hot summer sun is heating it up, or if the pool is just filled with hot child piss. But the thought of it makes you gag. Fuck that. I ain't going near that shit.
It's a Gene Puddle.
Gene Puddle, yeah. Amazing. I got it, Crumbus whispered to himself. I got it, Britt, get in here, I figured it out. Britt came slowly into the room, still fanning herself. Crumbus, what is you shouting out in here? She demanded to know. I know how to save Wordsmiths, he yelled, as he shook her shoulders. I have to find the Naga Queen, he yelled, looking around the room at for his cloak. Crumbus, honey, that's just a myth. It's not real like the stories from the Daranosian Superstition Codex that are definitely true and real. Amen. No, listen, Britt. The Naga Queen is said to have the ability to grant you superpowers. Magic powers. Yeah, that's the theme of this segment. Magic powers.
She also does some pretty good chilies.
It's part of the deal. Magic powers that I can use to magic us the best Orcsmiths we've ever had, Crumb said, doing a magic hand wave and making sounds like whoosh, whoosh. Crumbus, this is stupid. You're stupid, Britt finally said, turning around and going back to the kitchen or whatever Troll Hillbilly stereotypically went when they were female. But this did not stop Crumbus from soliloquying. Brud and Killy sat on the throne couch with their ear horns in, listening to the all-sea ball, staring at it lifelessly. It's like my mama, who's also my aunt, who's also my cousin, who's also my stepsister, who's also my great aunt, who's also my grandmother, who's also my mechanic, always said. She said, boys, pull yourself by your boob straps because mama ain't always going to be around for you to suck on her titties. You have to grow up and take matters into your own hands until the time you reach adulthood, in which case you go back to fondling my hangers because then she trailed off and gestured to the family coat of arms. Crumbus was now frantically packing a satchel full of goods for his journey, and also an old TV guide with Alf on it for some reason. This is going to be the greatest adventure since General Lee started the Civil War at Gettysburg, he proclaimed to nobody because they weren't listening.
How
General
would you know
Lee
about that fake history?
Listen. General Lee, the orange bone car, of course. Yup. He single-handedly ran down 3 Democrats at the Getty Station, sparking Daranos' first and least known civil war. You know the one, hun. The Getty Station down there, the BP. BP for when you absolutely need that basilisk power. He finished as he was now reciting the ads for BP he had seen on the all-sea ball. They have at the mana pumps for some reason. Like, am I supposed to be watching this shit? I'm just here to get gas. I mean, mana for my bone car. Can't even do that without being inundated with capitalism's absolute shameless greed. There you go. There's your screed I went on. As Crumbus exited the hut, he looked back for one last glance at the only home he's ever known, not counting that stint in the village jail he served for what the county called tusk perversions. Whatever that is.
Oh, God.
Thanks, Democrats. Goodbye, my beloved family, he whispered to himself as a single tear ran down his perverted tusk. Nobody cares, Brud yelled back from inside. Along the way, Crumbus found some bapples and put them in his bag. If all else failed, he could give them to his kids for a nice Orcsmith meal, and hopefully turn them into chairs so he could easily skip town and start a new life as a circus troll who got shot out of the big blunderbuss.
I'd watch that.
That'd be cool.
After Alf.
Soon he heard 8, 9 Central. Soon he heard the clip-clopping of horse hooves and quickly ducked behind a felled tree. He peered his good seeing eye out of a knot in the wood of the tree and waited for the horse to pass. Was it a knight? Was it a werehorse come to find him and turn him into a werehorse? Because that's totally a thing to add it to the bestiary. It's all right, traveler, a soothing and pleasant voice said. You could come out. I won't hurt you. Crumbus slowly raised his eyes above the tree and saw the most beautiful centaur he had ever seen. Her dark skin shimmered with glittery magic. Her hair was as... Ow! Ow! Her hair was as dark as the murky swamps. She was topless and had huge mammaries.
In saddlebags.
In saddlebags, yeah.
It's so scientific for Darren.
Who is you? Crumbus stumbled over himself, his jaw agape. My name is Megan the Stallion, she said. As she clip-clopped over to Crumbus. I'm a local healer and bard. My magical raps have cured thousands. I have the voice of an angel having an orgasm during an orgy choir recital, she said humbly.
Humbly.
My name's Crumbus, and I'm looking for the Queen of the Naga, he said matter-of-factly. You must not look for her, Crumb, Megan said, leaning down closer to his face, for she is a deceiver and a thought. She will take everything from you. Okay, but I heard she could give you superpowers, so I'm just going to go try to do that. No offense. Megan sighed. Fine, do whatever you want. I'm not your mama, who's also your aunt, who's also your cousin, who's also your stepsister, who's also your great aunt, who's also your grandmother, who's also my mechanic.
How did she know?
Just a saying.
I say it all the time.
Yeah, don't you? I do. With that, Megan the Stallion trotted off looking real sexy and thick with 3 C's. Like, I'm so horny for her, I would fuck a horse, if you know what I'm saying. I'd fuck Megan the Stallion even if she had a horse lower body, is what I'm saying, actually, in the story.
But only in the story.
Only in the
Yes.
story.
Yes.
Add it to the lore, people.
Add it to the bestiary.
The bestiality area.
That's what it would be called. Darren knows. Soon Crumbus arrived at the dankest part of the swamp forest. The trees were covered in that moss that looks like spider webs. There were also a lot of spider webs. Before him stood a pool of the blackest, thickest, muddy water he had ever seen, and this dude farmed dirt for a living. The swamp was still, and there were no animals around. Not even bugs. Do you know how fucking creepy a swamp has to be for there to be 0 bugs around it? You'd piss your rags. Suddenly, as Crumbus approached the shore of the swamp, the water began to rumble and churn. The water stirred and swirled like the world's nastiest hot tub after an orgy recital. Out from the torrent of muck and grime slid a 2-headed snake beast. Its heads turned around each other as it slithered its way out of the grime. Its skin was iridescent purple. Its 4 eyes glowed purple in the dark. Its hisses filled the still but humid night air. It writhed its Ophidian body around and around itself, trying to gain purchase on something it could perch itself onto. Crumb stood there in awe, mostly because, yup, you guessed it, the Nagatween's reptilian milkers were just hanging out. Each time it wrapped its body around, Crumb could catch a glimpse of the reptilian baps, like this was a Saturday night and he was watching blurry Channel 99 pay-per-view. What do you want, mortal? The first head spoke. Excuse me, Queen, sir, Crumb said. I did done hear you were giving out magical superpowers, and I thought, why the hell, that would be nice to have.
True.
You wish to gain powers? The second head hissed. This is going to ruin my voice.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, ma'am. And maybe like one of those magical freeze boxes for my natty ice potions for the barn, you know? I sure do love me some natty ice potion, warm, but I figured I'd never had a cold drink of anything in my life, so hell, why not drink cold piss swill instead of warm piss swill? You know what I mean? We do, the head said together. You must choose the first head spoke again. Choose what? Crumb said, still thinking about the magical icebox. Choose which of us will grant you the gift, the second head said. Oh, I get it, Crumb said, rubbing his chin. I don't get it. One of us will grant you magics. The other will grant you the kiss of death. You must choose which of us will bite you and set you free, one of the heads said, and I'm not going to keep saying which one. This is getting boring.
Is it a kiss of magic?
Kiss of what? What?
It's a suck off of magic.
Oh, good. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, okay. All right, Crumb said, but how do I know which one is which? You don't, the queen said, but you may ask us any questions you wish. Okay, I got a question. Which one of you grants magic powers? Crumb said smugly. He did it. He outsmarted the queen of deception herself. Nice try, but we do not know which of us is which. The moons change us every night, and we ourselves never know which of us is cursed. Crumbus hummed and scratched his head. Well, shoot. Were there any other fellers over here trying to get them Wordsmiths saving powers? No, the queen hissed. Are you lying to me? No. The three sat in silence for a beat until, I got another question for y'all. Y'all ever see them monster bone trucks? Hooey, those are a hoot. How do they get into those things? Some kind of teleport spell, or maybe they have, like, big legs, but then how would they fit them inside them cabs? I'll tell you what, though, I took Brud to see them down at the Pizza Dome last year, and we got to see the world record for most bystanders killed by a single truck. Hot dog, what a show! Any more questions pertaining to your choice? The queen snapped back. Oh, yeah, hell yeah, Crumb said. Who is the best NAS bone car driver of all time? Snail Wormheart, the first head said without missing a beat. Hot damn, I choose you, the left one. Hooey!
I knew it.
You mean the right one? The second head asked. Yeah, I picked the right one, the left one. Crumb said clarifyingly. Wait, hissed the queen. Our left or your left? I don't know. Who's on first? You know what? It doesn't matter, hissed the first queen head as she drew back and swiftly struck Crumb in the neck, injecting him with a purple, viscous venom that coursed through his veins. Now go home to your meager life and wait one full rotation of the moons, and you will be set free. The queen began laughing and laughing as she sank back into the murky swamp. Soon Crumb began the long journey back home. The trip was going to take a little longer than one day, so he figured he could pass the time by practicing his magic and making cool presents and doing some sick magic kickflips. As the day wore on, he began to feel not good. As the next night arrived, Crumb was full-blown fucked up. If this was how magic felt, wizards must be some fucking sadistic fucks. Again, Crumb heard the clip-clop of a steed. Just as the noise rounded the bend in the trees, he saw Megan the Stallion for the briefest glimpse, then fell over unconscious. You dumb motherfuck, Megan yelled. I told your ass not to go to that fucking swamp, she sighed as she picked up his shivering body. Sweat drenched his tattered rags. Ew, she said. Let's get you to an apothecary. She smacked her own juicy booty and which made the Aaliyah baby sound, and they were off. Megan burst through the door of the nearest apothecary and laid Crumb's body down on the table. He's got Naga Queen venom in his body, yada, 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 she yelled.
Oh my god.
Nothing I can do about that, the old apothecary grumbled as he blew smoke out of his pipe and made a skull and crossbones. It's up to him now. Megan fetched water and a bucket and began to cool off Crumb's forehead. He seemed to be alternating between extreme fever and extreme anti-fever. He shivered so hard, one of his teeth cracked. Then he began sweating so much it looks like his pits pissed themselves. Descriptive.
I saw it in my mind's eye.
I'm right
instantly.
there. Yeah, your third eye, yeah. Suddenly, a dark cloaked figure entered the room. It slid across the ground and made no sound. Its cloak was not made of any fabric known to man or wizard. It was like smoke. Megan and the old man paid no mind as it sidled up next to Crumbus. It was mere inches away from Megan's face as it lowered its cloaked face down toward Crumb's. Still, Megan seemed not to notice, but for a cold shiver that ran up her spine. She shuddered and looked around to see the door was open and went to close it. The figure slowly lowered itself farther down. As it did, it removed its hood to reveal a half of a skull with no lower jaw. Smoke billowed out of its eye sockets and from out of its face hole where the jaw should have been. It breathed... I'm swallowing, sorry. I swallowed wrong. It breathed deeply and ran a bony finger down Crumbus's forehead. Crumbus winced in pain and screamed in agony. The cloaked figure laughed. It was a laugh that could only be heard in hell. If you or I were to ever hear this laugh, it surely would be the last thing we ever heard with our mortal ears. Crumb awoke on top of a mountain. There was snow everywhere. He assumed it was snow since he had never actually seen snow. In the distance was a cloaked figure billowing its cloak all over the dang place. Hey, are you my magical supervisor or something? He yelled toward the figure. The cloak floated across the snow as wind howled all around it. As it moved through the falling snow, the snow itself gave way to it. Below, there were no footprints. Oh, shoot, Crumb said, coming to the realization that this wasn't his magical supervisor, whatever that was. Your death, he said, backing away. The figure lifted a hand and began to point at Crumbus. As it did, it continued its motion and removed its hood. Crumbus shut his eyes hard, hoping this was like Raiders of the Lost Ark rules, and then finally Death removed its hood. Hello, yes, I am Reaper number 69427, said the figure. Death? Death? I'm losing it. I'm losing my voices. Crumb winced. No, Reaper number 694200247, he repeated. What do you think? Death is like some Santa Claus character that flies around single-handedly killing people? You know how many people die each day? Especially in this fakakta place. I had to pull a guy out of a gelatinous cube because he tried to stick his pecker in it. This place is crazy. So, I'm not gonna die? Yeehaw! Crumb shouted. Oh no, my boy, you most certainly are going to die. Whether it's today, well, that's yet to be determined. The Reaper waved his hands. Out from his cloak, he procured a large hourglass, the sand inside which glowed a bright blue. As it fell to the bottom half, the color turned a dull brown. Okay, here's the deal. You climb this mountain, you reach the peak, you find your hero's journey, and you learn a lesson, yada, yada, yada. You have until this here hourglass expires. I suggest you go. There's these trial. Holy shit! What did I write here?
Power through, buddy. Power through.
I got it. I suggest you go. There are these trials and all this other nonsense. Crumb watched as grains of sand fell and seemingly died. He looked up the mountain and heard a roar. Shoot, no, he said. You must go learn your lesson about how your family is the real gift or whatever the hell your lesson is. I'll be down here if you need me. Just call my all-C ball number, 1-800, go figure it the fuck out yourself. The Reaper lit a cigarette and puffed on it. It somehow stayed in his mouth even though he had no lower jaw. Crumb turned and began to head up the path to the peak. He soon reached a perch where he heard a roar so loud it would have made his skin melt off if he hadn't been in some kind of coma or dream. And then I put dinging of a bell. There you go. There's one. Oh, come on, Crumb shouted back down the pass. Y'all couldn't at least start me out with something like Dogman or some kind of scary endless pit or something? You gotta start me out with a dragon? The Reaper puffed his cig and lifted up his middle finger. Yeah, yuts. I am the dragon of temptation, the dragon bellowed. It drew its enormous head back and began to inhale. Crumb covered his ears and pissed his pants a little, even in his dream. The dragon let out a monstrous roar as it shot not fire but ice out of its gaping mouth hole. Crumb readied himself for the end, but it didn't come. The dragon fired its ice beam to a nearby rock wall. As the ice crystallized and hardened into place, Crumb could see dozens and dozens of icy cold potions that said Natty Ice in Runic.
Oh my
Crumb
God.
gasped, and a single tear fell down his sick, degenerate tusks. Come, mortal, drink the nectar of the gods, the dragon said without a hint of irony. Soon Crumb and the dragon were getting absolutely piss-faced, fall down the steps, forget the shit in the toilet drunk on the worst god's-forsaken abomination of urinary swill ever invented in the three realms. Megan and the old man began to slap Crumb in vain. There's somebody yelling, hoping he'd wake up and somehow be saved from his fate. Wake up, you yokel ass fuck, she yelled. As she held up her hand for another strike, the old man caught it and held it. He looked her in her beautiful eyes and just shook his head. Suddenly, Crumb began to convulse. Frothy discharge spewed from his mouth. He retched and began to stutter like he was being electrocuted. Fight it, Megan yelled, cheering him on. Crumb stopped moving. There was silence. Suddenly, the air began to chill. Behind them, a blue, hazy apparition began to form. Out of the haze, Megan could see a tusk, then another. Well, shit, I guess I'm a goddamn ghost now. Doggone it, Crumb said as he threw his hat down and kicked the dirt like a hillbilly idiot. The end.
Wow.
I can't believe that's the end.
Look, one of the prompts wasn't write a good story, all right?
Thank God for us all.
Yeah, no doubt. Yeah, that was fucking hilarious.
It was so good.
That was, yeah.
It was just like being back home.
I was like, I don't know, is Jeff gonna like hate this?
No, I thought it was fucking hilarious.
I figured you would. I was like, I know he does. I know he thinks this shit's funny. Yeah. I had like a whole other thing. Like I like chopped this up and shit. It was like a whole thing.
Sometimes
I didn't know what to do.
Sometimes you got to Frankenstein them together. It's the
Yeah,
only way it
yeah.
works, right?
Yep. Only way it's gonna get done sometimes. 'Cause
Sometimes,
I
yeah.
like. I'll sit there and I'll like tell myself the story and I'm like, that's funny. But I'll be like half asleep, right?
Oh, yeah.
And then I totally fucking forget what I was thinking.
I got up in the middle of the night. I was in my bed coming up with the fucking story I was writing, and I was like, I'm gonna forget this one detail. I need to write it down. I walk out in the hallway and put it in my phone.
You forgot it. Oh, dude, that's great. That's awesome. Because I forget it like all the time. I had a thing about like how the Northerners in the Civil War had like better magic wand production. The whole fucking Civil War thing, and then one of the lines was like, and there was even a rat with a gun.
Call back.
Because that fucking rat keeps coming back.
I want the rat to be in almost every story, to be honest with you.
Man, that's so good.
Thank you.
I I got to admit, though, I do hate when your story is first because my throat is killing me already and my jaw aches.
You didn't even have to do voices.
I know. It's a fucking good thing you were first as well, because there's no way you would have survived doing those voices at the end.
That's true.
Probably would have caught triple COVID again.
Yeah, I'm gonna get like strep COVID. It's like a new COVID that just like your throat like falls out of your mouth.
Southern Orc strep COVID.
Strip COVID?
Oh,
New game.
Ooh.
Ring that bell
That's
again.
a Theranos game if I ever heard one.
Should we take a break and then come back for a Pennington
absolutely.
special, which is a story and something else?
What?
Right, see you in a minute.
Suck off.
Oh.
Well, come back for that.
Oh, yeah, I'll be back in a second.
Welcome back. You are going to get a Josh. No, you're not. You're going to get a Jeff. Fuck's sake.
Other Josh.
This is why I'm the host. Because the lovable Englishness of it hides up all the fuck ups.
That's exactly it.
That's it.
Also, still, it's somehow better than what I would do. So.
Ring the bell again. You've got a Jeff special coming up, as promised. Get your hankies out and maybe whatever else you use, you sick perverts.
That's my favorite sex position, the Jeff special.
I was like, the hanky? I don't want to know what that is.
You're gonna find out.
The mayonnaise hang glider. When you rub mayonnaise on your...
All right,
you know what?
well,
Let's
get into my story, I think. It's called Die in the Dream, Die in Real Life.
What? Freddy rules.
David stood at the edge of a grand Gothic balcony carved meticulously out of black stone, which shimmered like stars in the cold night's air, his eyes squinting against the gigantic pale moon which dominated the sky in front of him. As far as the eye could see in the distance, the slow swaying of ocean waves brought the sea closer, then further away, rhythmically, steadily. The saltwater smell permeated his senses, and the bracing wind whipped across his face like a balm to his sore mind.
Like a bomb?
Balm.
B-A-L-M.
Oh, like tiger balm.
Yeah. I thought you said bong at first.
Like a tiger bong to his mind.
Oh, man, that's my favorite Netflix show, Tiger Bong.
This is my joke time. Shut up.
Okay,
We'll get there anyway. We'll get there. He had come here 1,000 times before and would return 1,000 times more. His retreat, his escape from everything that haunted him. It felt like an eternity could pass in this reprieve and nothing could spoil it. But when he glanced down at the water once more and returned his eyes to the massive moon above, no longer was it pale and placid as before. Instead, it was a deep, flaming red.
Not again!
All along its surface pulsed horrendous veins, pumping foul blood just beneath.
Whoa.
He turned to run, but his legs would not move, as if he was rooted to the ground beneath, and no matter how he pulled and pushed, no escape came to him. He tried to scream, but no sound escaped his lips, for the sound of a clock ticking overcame all other sound in his world. Before his eyes in the hazen distance of his once peaceful retreat, he saw the blood-red specter of numbers counting down. 500, 499, 498. His body twisted and convulsed against his control, and from within his throat came an inhuman and virulent tone he had never heard before in all of his days. A hissing scream that curdled his blood and bit into his very thoughts like a serrated knife. He moved with an alarming speed and an animal-like gait into the darkness before him, which swirled and eddied around like a viscous ashen smoke, coating...
What's with all the viscous stuff?
I love the word
Man,
viscous.
we're the same guy.
Coating his lungs and burning his eyes, but his body was no longer his, and whoever controlled it did not care one way or another about the pain.
You possessed bitch.
Finally, sitting before him on a small marble column in the darkness was an Epson G11 inkjet printer. Wreathed in red moonlight. The rage that overcame him was white-hot and uncontrollable. It pressed him on like a bullet propelled from the chamber, and he was upon it, ripping out its insides and throwing them freely behind him like a confetti. His hands were not his own. They were that of a diseased beast, covered in blood-matted fur and festering sores. The printer was shredded to nothingness, and again he tried to scream, but... Wakey, wakey, sleepyhead!
Oh, God.
David Brewster's head shot up off his desk instantly, a slack-jawed, half-asleep, questioning groan escaping him as he did. The bright lights of the office nearly blinded him, but he had awakened like this 1,000,000 times from an impromptu nap at his desk before, so he was well practiced at adjusting by this point. Ooh, looks like Dumpy's got a case of the Mondays, said Carol, the head of HR. Who was standing just outside David's cubicle, holding a slice of cake on a little Dixie paper plate in one hand and a teeny tiny spork in the other. Poor Dumpy. My name is David, David managed to growl out, wiping the sleep away from his eyes with the back of his fist. It's literally your job to remember that. You see, David had gotten his nickname on his first day at working at Griftco, a subsidiary of the Blatant Fraud Corporation.
Yes.
I feel you, Dave.
Why Dumpy, you ask? Why, it's because of his gigantic, bouncing double bubble of a juicy old jangling fat dump truck of an ass, of course.
Damn!
I mean, this dude was packing so much back meat, you can open up a barbecue joint in the back pocket of his Wranglers and still have buns left over for the rest of the franchise. This dude was slanging cheeks every goddamn day of the weeks.
Damn!
I mean, goddamn, folks.
I would embrace that Dumpy, even though the HR lady calling him Dumpy is, like, not great.
Oh, Dumpy, don't be so square. Not when that thing of yours is so round. Carol tittered at her own joke, turning on her heels and twinkle-toeing away down the row of cubicles like a 60s cartoon character with the jangly bell sounds and everything.
I was just thinking, like, Dexter's mom. Like, yeah.
You're literally the head of HR. You can't say that shit to me. David yelled after her, but absolutely no one heard or cared.
Damn.
You get that Jameson report finished and submitted yet, Dumpy? A voice from behind him came. And David spun around to see who was going to bother him now, which was no easy task, because that thing's like a fucking wrecking ball back there, y'all. I said, goddamn.
You gotta pack that thing at the front of the trailer so your truck doesn't wobble.
But still, he turned to see his direct middle manager boss, Bob Tully, standing behind him, with a stern look on his old, sunken, stupid bulldog of a face. Writer's note, fuck this guy before I even properly write anything about him.
Yeah, fuck him.
Not yet, sir. I'll have it to you by lunch, though. I've just been, under the weather lately, David replied with a small tug on his collar, in that universal way that said, ooh, boy, or maybe something like, uh-oh, you know the one. Uh-oh. I think a guy on the bus nicked me with a drug syringe or something. I've just been... Whatever, Dumpy. No one needs to hear your entire life story. Waddle your huge swaying ass cheeks on down to maintenance and see if they could fix the printer on floor 3 while you're sucking up a paycheck to let the back seat out of every pair of pants you buy out by 20 feet.
Wow.
Damn.
Mr. Tully said, turning and walking away. As he did, he dabbed sweat from his forehead and muttered under his breath, "It's always clapping by itself, too. Jesus."
Like Richard Nixon.
Dumpy stood there. David stood there. You know what? Actually, fuck it. There's no other name for a dude with a backyard like this. His name is Dumpy.
Backyard. heard that.
Dumpy stood there motionless, somehow feeling like he had not only lost a lot of self-respect in that exchange, but had also somehow lost some respect cosmically, like his own life story had given up giving him the dignity of using his own name. Sorry, buddy.
Damn.
That's not even my job, he muttered to himself. After a few minutes to suck it up and tell himself for the 400th time this week that this was only a temporary job, and that temporary can mean for the 10 years he'd already worked here, as long as he believed it hard enough.
Aww.
He finally turned and headed down the hallway towards maintenance. He knocked twice on the door marked maintenance office and stood silently in the dimly lit hallway. Ironically, the light just outside maintenance was flickering and busted, which gave the dead-end hall a real slasher movie feeling. That didn't make Dumpy feel any better about the weird-ass dream he'd had a few minutes before. He would consult his Dream Diaries Reddit community about this one when he got home. You can bet your ass on that. It suddenly became glaringly obvious that he'd been standing in this empty hallway in front of this door thinking to himself exactly how he was going to word his angry post about how all of their guided dream shit fell apart whenever Carol from HR chewed her office party birthday cake cud next to his ear for about 5 minutes now.
Damn.
He went to knock again, but when he pressed against the door for a moment by accident, it slowly opened inwards, the hinges creaking like an abandoned 100-year-old home. This maintenance team fucking sucked. Jesus. Dumpy pushed the door open and peered into the room past the edge of the door. The only light in the entire space was from a lamp on a desk in the corner, but it was fairly easy to see that the front office of the maintenance department was completely unmanned. Dumpy shook his head, silently judging these people for a lot of shit at this point, when out of the corner of his eye behind the desks in the middle of the room, he saw it. It was shredded to bits, ripped piece from piece, and dumped together hazardly in the middle of the uncarpeted floor. But it was inarguable what he was staring at with recognition and horror. An Epson G11 inkjet printer. And it had been torn to absolute pieces in the exact same way as he had left it in his dream. He shuddered and backed away from the door, his entire body racked with fear. Then he stopped himself. Why the hell am I afraid of a broken printer? So what if I dreamed it getting broken? Maybe I heard about it in my sleep from Carol, or maybe Todd Bungus in the next cubicle over.
Todd Bungus.
This is so stupid. Dumpy walked into the maintenance office and stepped around the desks, headed over to the shredded old printer and knelt down next to it. Unfortunately, his incalculably massive butt cheeks touched down like 2 meteors crashing into the planet Earth and extincting the dinosaurs to death when he knelt down too fast. So he was instantly seated on that thing.
This guy's butt,
Don't worry, though. He was still technically over the top of the printer, though. His seat cushions were so dynamically immense that he would have a bird's eye view of the whole town sitting down, if you catch my drift. That shit's big, boy!
Fuck the Twin Peaks.
He rummaged through the pieces for a moment or two, feeling the familiarity of it, before a strange sensation overcame him. His vision blurred slightly, and his entire body slowly slumped over. An intense drowsiness, unlike any kind of exhaustion he'd ever felt, crept over him, fast and strong, until all he could do was lay down on the cold, hard concrete floor. And the moment his head touched down, he was out.
He's gonna turn into a wolf.
The blood-red numbers in his dreams continued to slip through the darkness one after another. 327, 326, 325. Ah! Dumpy screamed, shooting up off the floor onto his hands and knees and then back onto his unsteady feet, wobbling back and forth because of all that back ballast he was carrying around. And finally finding his center of gravity. Why did... he muttered, looking around the room with wide, terrified eyes. But he stopped questioning when he saw the parts strewn about him. The printer had been split into pieces well before, but now it littered the room around him in even more jagged, misshapen chunks. But it wasn't alone. A hand dangled from its wrist's tendons from the sides of the desk near the front. A leg was strewn across the workbench in the back. A gaping-mouthed head sat neatly tucked into the center of the printer's chassis, staring wide-eyed and sightless back up at him. The entire room was covered in spatters and pools of blood, which trickled and dripped sickeningly across every mundane item that once made this place seem so normal. He stumbled backwards, his voice trembling, trying to form words, but none could escape the lump in his throat. He looked down at his own body and saw nothing. Not a single speck of blood on him. Like he'd been covered with a tarp when the slaughter had occurred. Like he'd been gently placed into the aftermath of a double homicide. The scream finally left his throat, and he ran full tilt out of the doorway and back down the hall towards the cubicle farm he'd slaved away in for a decade.
Nice.
The people he passed barely even registered him, as always. Even as he screamed and leapt through the office like a madman, they didn't seem to give a shit. He finally made it to the door to HR and banged on it over and over. It took a full minute of banging before the door was wrenched open and Carol stared at him with a hateful glare in her eyes, her mouth screwed up into a grimace. What? I'm on my goddamn break, Dumpy! There's been a murder, 2 murders, we gotta get security, the 2 killed, Dumpy blurted out, tripping over his words, being absolutely frantic at this point. Oh, piss off, you fucking little crybaby. Just do what Mr. Tully asked you to do and stop parading your junky trunk around here, thinking you're better than all of us flat asses.
Trunk. Oh, that's where the abuse is coming from.
I've had it up to here with you whining about your nickname and submitting HR reports on everyone for using your ass crack as a goal for paper football. It's just a bit of fun, Carol ranted ruefully at him. She then turned her completely bored, flat, droopy pancake ass around and slammed the door to her office behind her.
That's the worst part of this story so far, the most horrific part.
What? Dumpy sputtered out, taken out of the horror of his situation completely by that entire interaction. He shook it out of his head and turned to run away, but even frantic as he was, he had to stop running after one step and turned to look back at Carol's door with complete bewilderment on his face, let out one last, huh? And then run off full tilt back across the cubicle farm. He made it to Mr. Tully's office and beat on the door as well, the visions of blood-red numbers running down in his head now appearing to him in the distance in his waking moments. He tried as hard as he could to ignore them as he grabbed the door handle and yanked it open without waiting for an answer. Mr. Tully was pretty shocked to see Dumpy come into his office without him being invited in all right, but nowhere near as shocked as the woman who wasn't Mrs. Tully, since she was right in the middle of taking some serious dictation from the boss when he arrived. If you don't catch my meaning, what I'm saying is that Mr. Tully was fucking some broad over his desk when Dumpy Kramered in on him, and now she's embarrassed because she's got an old gross fuckwit's ding-dong in her hoo-ha. You get it now.
Whoa. Ew. That's the worst part.
I'm sorry, what are you trying to say?
Sexual relations. She
You gotta draw it
Sure.
for her.
For the right price. She screamed in terror and surprise. Mr. Tully screamed in rage and surprise. Dumpy screamed as well, but for his part because he felt his entire body go limp once more. And not just because the sight of Mr. Tully's old scrinkly bulldog-faced dick had made it impossible for Dumpy to ever be erect again. Though it had. But because the exhaustion and drowsiness had overtaken him once more. He fell face first into the floor in a heap, and everything went black around him in an instant. 98. 97. 96. He gasped in air hard once more, his body jerking up from its position, and his bleary-eyed stare catching sight for just 1 second of a gigantic, dark form leering over him. He tried to scream out, but the form was gone in an instant, flashing toward him like a video error before being as if it had never been there to begin with.
What?
He struggled to his feet, his hands slipping and sliding in the blood that coated the linoleum beneath him. His stomach flipped and turned in on itself, his breath heaving out of his chest as he raised to his feet once more, already completely sure what he would find in the locked room around him.
Yeah. The hoo-ha is going to be on the other side of the room.
Blood, guts, human body parts, machinery, all strewn around like a bomb had gone off. But B-O-M-B this time.
Oh!
Gigantic sweeping slashes pockmarked every wall and surface that was even slightly still intact, and the massive bay window of the office was completely smashed out, half of a torso hanging out of it, dangling by its own entrails in the cold winter wind that swept into the office.
Nice.
That is some sick Halloween decoration.
The sight was so incredibly gruesome that in any other story, our protagonist would assuredly get violently sick right now. But I'm writing this one so he doesn't, because it's icky. Yes, I know the rest of this story is also very icky, but there's nothing spooky about vomit, so fuck you.
No.
Yeah.
There was no way in
it's a
hell,
ghost.
no way in any shape or form that the residents of the office didn't hear this bloodbath being done. He was certain now that something was stalking him, murdering everything he was in contact with, horrifically and inhumanly, and it must be so loud and visceral that everyone in the building must be screaming and running for their lives right now. He threw open Mr. Tully's office door and... well, I mean, it's not shocking to us, the audience, but it was to him. Everyone was still just in their cubicles.
Damn, he's like a Hyde. He's like a Mr.
They were
Hyde.
working at their Windows 98 machines like always.
What?
All except for Cowboy Bob, who was standing near the elevator at the front of the office, putting his 10-gallon hat on and saying his goodbyes to the secretary. Begging your pardon, man, but I'm going to be hitting that old dusty trail a little early today. My son went camping with his football team buddies over the weekend and never checked back in with his mama and me, so we're going to go ahead and check up on him. Mighty obliged.
Hell yeah.
Cowboy Bob said, tipping his Stetson to Belinda the secretary and stepping into the elevator, his spurs clinking as the doors closed.
He's wearing spurs.
Dumpy raced across the room screaming, every head in the place turning towards him in confusion, but mild interest at best. Like when a bird is flown into the office by accident, or two people wear the same tie without realizing. He leapt into his chair at his desk, compressing the fuck out of that air glide because of his aforementioned max-level glutes.
Max level, 99.
Before we get to the end of the story, I just wanted to remind you that this dude was sporting an absolutely bonkers rump. The kind of hindquarters that trophy hunters would mount on their wall and porn stars would mount in their dreams.
Oh, man.
The kind of hefty hanging haunches that could feed a family of bears for this winter and everyone to come.
Wow.
I'm talking real globes where life could flourish freely in verdant fields, and there's no war back there because there's room for everyone.
Oh, that's so
Well,
nice.
I found out what I'm putting on my gravestone.
But I digress. Dumpy heaved breaths as he grabbed at the landline phone on his desk, the blood coating his hands, making it slip out of his grasp and onto the surface with a loud plastic clanking. He fumbled it back up to his ear afterwards. His hands were shaking so hard he could barely type 9-1. The phone fell to the floor with a resounding thud, its cord jangling back and forth from the impact freely. Dumpy's face slammed into his desk and remained there, motionless.
What?
The other denizens of the office finally gathered around, looking him over with confusion and disgust at his bloodied state. They began to whisper amongst each other about him maybe having a bad nosebleed, cause Tippy Santiago in accounting saw him picking his nose by the water cooler once.
Tippy, you fucking nut.
Bingo Jones, in corporate accounts receivable, who was a genuine piece of shit liar who loved to just spew horse shit to get attention, swore up and down that he was a coke addict, and that he and Dingy Ben from the warehouse had seen him using cocaine behind the dumpster with a stinky old hooker on lunch hour many a time.
Stinky old
Everyone
hooker.
believed him because it was an office, and believing this shit was better than the lives they had to live here any day.
Oh, fucking, that is the true horror.
That hits home.
They were all silenced pretty instantly when Dumpy's body began to convulse on his desk, though. It shook violently for a moment, and then stopped, the bare skin of his face and arms plotting against the metal of his desk sickeningly. There was a moment of held breath where the office denizens took a step back from him, all eyes staring unblinkingly at his body. 3, 2, 1. That made it impossible to miss the sight of something pushing against his back from the inside, pressing it outward and letting it sink back in. They began to panic then, and screams ran out as visible handprints from inside the body began to distend the skin outward,
It was like Cronenberg.
violently pushing against the cage of his flesh from within. The office workers were scattering and screaming when his back split open down the spinal cord and flayed outwards like a reverse autopsy to reveal a growing, gigantic, black furred form within that lurched out onto the ground like an animal's birth. The form continued to swell, and the cracking and forming of bones filled the room almost at the same moment as the swelling sound of a bestial, guttural snarl. Fingers as long as arms unfurled and gripped into the floor, the lights overhead flashing and strobing violently just from the thing's presence, making it impossible to make out exactly what it was outside of its wrinkled, elongated maw lined with jagged, overlapping, dripping teeth.
Cricket Man!
Its immense body covered every inch in black ashen fur. It stood up to its full height, reaching from floor to ceiling with size to spare, its gigantic legs smashing down into the floor beneath it. It reared its head back and opened its jaw beyond its widest point, the cheeks splitting to accommodate row after row of slathering teeth within. And from the depths of this creature's form came a screeching, inhuman scream that sent blood erupting from the ears of every human being who had fled for their lives within the office that day.
I just stuck around. I want to see where this is going.
The phone rang only once. An electronically deepened and disguised voice answered without hesitation. Report. The man holding the bloody office landline phone to his ear placed a small handkerchief over its receiver and spoke quickly in turn. The experiment was beyond success. The next generation chrysalid far exceeds anything that came before. Turnaround time is now down to 8 minutes once the serum matures. 0 degradation. We will move forward with continued production then, the electronic voice on the other line responded. Hail Gestalt, they both said in unison, the phone lines going dead.
They're Nazis?
The end.
Wow!
That's so good. Coincidentally, I can make my turnaround time 8 minutes if I really try.
Oh, damn! You can do it less than that. Let me get my lip chap. I'll get you up there.
That was so good.
Thank
It was
Yeah,
so good.
I hate going before you because you are incredible at descriptions.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I can't even fucking, like... Dude, it's like, I can see this shit, man.
Thank
Like,
you.
it's crazy good.
Thank you.
I will suck your dick, too.
It had the transformation scene had a real American Werewolf in London feel
In London,
out it
yeah.
that I really
That's
digged.
what I thought. Yep.
I thought about putting this in the story and making it more obvious, but I thought maybe it would take away tension right at the end. But he didn't turn into a werewolf.
No.
Because of his giant ass. He turned into a horrific baboon monster.
Yeah.
Oh, he was a baboon. He was a baboonman.
He's a baboonman.
I thought he was a cricket man. Everything's cricket man with me, though. Big into
There
cricket
might be
man.
a cricket man in the follow-up to this.
What?
We'll
Baboon
have
Man
to
versus
see.
Cricket Man.
There,
Can we get like a Cricket Man shirt where it's just Cricket Man walking like that one Bigfoot video?
what we should do is have a Cricket Man shirt that has the blurry photo of Bigfoot, but he's photoshopped out and there's nothing there.
There's nothing, and it says Cricket Man on it. Like, he's so small, like he's in the background.
little blemish on a rock or something like that.
That's so fucking funny. Holy shit.
No, there is
so
there
good.
is at least one person listening to this who recognizes the name Gestalt for something and knows where this story is going now.
Geralt.
No.
He's got 2 swords. 2-sword baboon.
Okay, well now
Come
you've
on,
ruined
dude.
our podcast.
We are fucking over now. This is 4.9.
That
rating.
poor guy is going to be listening to this and be like,
I
what?
know.
In this?
I know. He's so, like, I feel bad that we keep bringing it up, but
It's
also
affectionate.
It is affectionate.
It is
funny.
genuinely
It is.
It
affectionate.
is affectionate.
yeah.
No, I'm glad you guys like my story.
That's good. I always like it. I always say this every week, and it's going to get really fucking boring that I'm going to say it again, but I found myself forgetting that I was on a podcast for a second, and I just listened.
Yeah,
and I always
feel like
do that.
I'm there. I got, like, you were, like, talking about how I'm, like, falling asleep, and I was, like, yawning and shit. Like, I was like, oh, my God, like, I'm fucking, like, post-hypnotic suggestion.
The only time a writer wants someone to yawn during their story.
Yeah. I was like, dude, that was so good.
Gestalt will return.
Gestalt is like a thing, psychology.
Gestalt is a thing that's more than the sum of its parts.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's right. Sounds like Gestapo to me.
There are no Nazis involved in this one.
No. That guy sounded like maybe he could have been a Nazi.
We'll
He's like,
maybe if you're good,
whatever
you'll get a Nazi. We'll see.
No, I don't.
For Christmas.
It's a Christmas miracle.
Oh, man. That was really good.
Thank you. Woo! Thank you very much.
Should we take a break?
Whatever happened to Timmy Bongos or whatever?
They're all dead.
Oh,
good.
Everybody except Cowboy Bob died, and he's got a real fucking rude awakening when he gets home.
Yeah, I like how this took place in the 90s. Like, it was Office Space. Like, I was like,
Windows 98.
Shit. Yep.
I mean,
the phone.
This maybe took place in the modern day. Who knows?
Do people still use 98?
If you've ever worked at a shitty, like, local corporate office, they still got Windows 98 sometimes.
Yeah, and phones, yeah.
When I joined my office 3 years ago, they still had Windows XP.
Oh, damn. The good one. No, ME was the best one. Jesus.
Oh.
Break time.
Break time. We'll be right back.
In less than 8 minutes. Right, Rich?
Indeed. If I can get there. Maybe less.
Oh my god. Josh is having a snack. Don't worry.
Welcome back for your chat about stories. What? Are you interrupting me already? Are you interrupting me? This is not the intro.
You cut out. I don't know. You were like, something happened. I'm making sure you're okay.
Come back.
Yeah, it was weird.
Perhaps I wanted to put the emphasis on come.
I mean,
okay.
You just did.
There you go.
Put the come on emphasis.
Welcome back to our Brendan Fraser podcast. Where we talk about how hot he is and how much we love him. It's a lot, and it's a lot.
We did that for the entire break that we went on, in case you're wondering what the fuck we're talking about.
You got to listen to a cool, snazzy tune, but we got to listen to our dicks get hard.
It sounds like this.
It's exactly the sound it makes. It's like an old creaky door.
Oh, you guys got old man wieners, is why.
Dude, well, you know.
I'm a young child.
Yep.
86, get real.
My story this week is a continuation of something that I started 2 weeks ago. So if you haven't listened to that episode yet, I mean, what the fuck are you listening to this episode before episode 10 anyway?
Yeah, why would you
start with episode 12?
Just because there's a 1 in it doesn't mean it's the first one, you idiot.
Yeah, get wrecked, losers. Bros, patreon.com, bros before pros.
Please, God. Let us do this for a living, please, God.
Look, you cucks. Please give us your money at patreon.com/class. Wait.
Oh, that is a rich move there. Saying the wrong podcast.
M-Class Podcast. Patreon.com/M-Class Podcast.
My episode this week is called The Nightmare Council.
That sounds horrible.
It is, and it will be. Hallie Swiftfeather, that's right, the elf from the second episode, pushed the low-hanging branch aside to step into Gladecleft's ceremonial clearing, but no one was there to greet her. There were no council chairs, usually reserved for the leaders of the 6 elven kingdoms: wood, dark, high, space, science, and that random sect of elves that always turned up buck-ass nude to proceedings.
That's not wood elves?
Hallie thought that they should be the real wood elves, but instead they were just called funky weird elves.
Yes!
Instead of the thrones...
Wait, there's science elves?
Yeah, I mean, it's basically Spock.
There's also... Well, wait, you said there were space elves as well.
There's ones that live in space and there's ones that are on the planet.
This is a whole thing. Wait till they pay for the bestiary.
Instead of the thrones stood a single dark tree. It wasn't a tree she was familiar with, the branches black and gnarled, though very much alive. In fact, more than alive. It seemed to be pulsing. No, it was breathing. She walked up to it with measured, tepid footsteps, not blinking until she was a foot from the tree. She reached a hand out to the trunk and gasped at what she saw. It was small and pudgy, the hand of a child. A child that touched their father's laptop without washing their fucking hands first. And don't they know how much that costs, Evan?
Holy shit. It's beginning to look a lot like Christmas.
Looking down, she saw her waif smock that she wore as an apprentice when she was only 10 years old. Once the initial surprise was gone, she noticed that the trunk of this obsidian tree was nothing but knotted and wound cabling, a tree made of machinery and wires.
That's sick.
Suddenly filled with a desperation for it to be gone, Hallie pulled at the thick cables, tearing chunks of it away from its mass. She did this until she felt a heat on her back, and turned to see there was no forest around her, only the burned and smouldering remnants of her home, light in the sky in an orange hue. Even the dank pit dwarves that had slaughtered her clan knew not to disturb the trees, but someone, something, had burned every tree to stump and root. A heinous sin to an elf. Hands hit steel and her attention was drawn back to the structure in front of her. Probing with her fingers, she felt the edges of a metallic frame and pulled it out of the tangle. It was a screen, displaying nothing but static, and in the white noise she suddenly heard a whisper. There you are. 2 steel, skeletal, clawed hands burst from the screen to grab her around the throat. Try as she might, she couldn't fight, the cold creeping into her and paralysing all thought and feeling. The hand squeezed, and as the light faded from Hallie's sight, she heard the ringing of a bell in the distance. Ding! Come back, General. Hallie opened her eyes to find herself cross-legged on the floor, surrounded by candles. There was something there, a recollection of something, but she couldn't grasp it. She reached back and felt a pain at her throat, then further, to remember her golem-aided destruction of the Dank Pit Brewery, then further back to some questionable music tastes in college and an even more questionable taste in men.
Great placebo song.
Including that guy who said supposedly.
Oh Jesus.
Man. Hallie, come on.
That is fucking terrible.
You take what you can get sometimes, right?
Like, not that desperate.
She stopped trying with an exhalation. Whatever it was, the vision had gone. It's not common to be able to be unable to recall a reading, General Swiftfeather. That's why we exist, to scribe what prophecies we can to these tablets. Omniscient Mookie sat in front of her on the carpet, slightly twitchy around so many open flames. At least that's what Hallie hoped it was. The Moth Mookie hadn't changed a bit in the 10 years since Hallie had first visited the Mothman Prophecies to get a read-in to find out. I love that you both laugh at that whenever I say it.
It's so funny. It's so funny.
Genius.
Yeah.
Since she had first visited the Mothman Prophecies to get a read-in to find out how she could destroy the dank pits. They were still cute as a button, antennae constantly twitching, but there was a confidence about them now, a power emanating from them that Hallie could also almost reach out and touch. I'm having these dreams every night. Nightmares, really. I can't remember them all too well, but I wake in pain and unease. Hallie wiped her sweating forehead. Could you see anything? The future is hard to see, Father Flicker, the luminous green moth who acted as the Omniseer's chief advisor, began, but the Omniseer held up a hand to silence him. No. We don't keep truths from people any longer, Father. No obfuscations, no riddles, the moth said, then offered Hallie a tilt of their head. It's not good, General. An evil rises in the north on the site of your destroyed home. Is this connected to that message you asked Doots to give me, Omniseer, about this technomancer? Please, call me Mookie. To say I'm not used to the Omniseer title is a little bit of an understatement. Mookie,
Dude, I get that shit tattooed across my chest. I'd be like, you call me Master.
Mookie looked slightly embarrassed. Hallie knew the feeling well. To obtain a role and fill the expectations of the role were two very different things. Only if you call me Hallie. The whole general thing may have the menfolk finally listening to me, but it makes me feel a little bit old. Deal. Mookie held out a leg, which Hallie took in both of hers eagerly. Hands, not legs.
I was going to say, did she shake legs? This is getting, real hot.
Once the gesture was finished, the smiles vanished, and Hallie and her new friend remembered what they were doing here. The Mothman prophecies have serviced others with these sorts of dreams and visions recently. The old doctrine was to hide them, to hope that the futures read would not come to pass. I kind of believe that's a little bit cowardly. It's already cost me friends and family. Hallie was shocked by the admission, to hear the keeper of all Ithia's secrets so honest, so open. She had to wonder what that would mean in terms of data protection. Rich, is this a good joke? Is this how far you've fallen? Patreon.com/bros before pros before the office life claims me for good.
Look at Rich's dump truck ass. Oh, yeah.
Rich Dumpy Masters over here.
Thanks. I'm twerking as you say it.
Bitch Bapsters.
Ooh, nice. If we need to investigate this technomancer, I'd rather it be kept between the people who already know about this. Mookie stirred in their seat uncomfortably. Yeah, about that. We need to talk, General. Doots Bardsley sharpened the axe edge of her keytar while she waited in the Great Hall and watched her fellows that had been summoned. They were a motley crew, and not in the shitty band sex tape having way, but the badass group of killers and mercs way. In one corner, far from everyone else, a human Doots knew as the Ranger Rhea Grey snored heavily as she sat in a chair with her robotic eyes swivelling in their sockets, watching the rest of them even as she dozed.
What? That's fucked up!
On another table, a bright orange jelly skelly man with neon green bones floating in her body sat playing a drinking game with a swamper frogman with a large hexagonal spiked cudgel. The game seemed to be who could drink their drink the fastest. The loser would then have to down a drink, and the winner also seemed to celebrate by downing a drink.
Everybody wins.
She wondered if the two friends would welcome her pointing out that what they were doing wasn't technically a game, but she didn't want to spoil their fun.
It's technically binge drinking.
Just
I'm
like
so
Dad
excited
used to
that the
do.
Jelly Skelly man is back. I just wanted to point that out.
Too bad the prompt wasn't frogs again.
Yeah. On the other side of the room, silently watching the rest of the party, was someone she hadn't initially seen, the Darkling Tabor. He was slim and lithe, a shadow made sentient, his entire skin an inky, oily black. Suddenly, Doots realised she was doing something she always did when she was nervous these days. Her glowing fingers rubbed against the carved message on the back of the keytar, a message of friendship that she still couldn't understand, no matter how hard she tried. The technomancer comes. Tell General Swiftfeather to ready for war. Love, your friend. The message was accompanied by by carving of a moth, a carving she assumed was from that kid at the Mothman prophecies that was so nice to her. The guilt at being unable to remember made her burn white hot. What the hell was wrong with her? She was so lost, so damaged. that she couldn't even remember someone who had been kind to her. It made her feel sick. Doots pulled her knee up and started playing a calming tune that filled the room. It instantly made her feel a little better, the stings of guilt fading with every note.
That's a great lyric. The stings of guilt, man.
That is pretty sick. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
You play so beautifully. Tabor was at her elbow suddenly, his inky voice smoother than Marvin Gaye covered in honey-flavoured sex lube.
Whoa!
I have never felt so calm. How do you do this? I just use the strings to find the sympathetic frequencies needed to produce the effect needed. Doot shrugged. She'd never really thought of the how of it before. It's just maths, really. There are frequencies to make people sick, or slow, or to turn people into rabid animals. Those are usually football songs.
That's soccer for our American audience.
Thank you, editor. Everyone in the room now surrounded her, so entranced by her playing that they had stopped what they were doing and were entirely fixated on her. The frogman smiled serenely as he linked arms with the jelly skelly woman, both of them swaying together, or maybe holding each other up due to all the drinking. It be beautiful, isn't it, Barthor? Oh, sorry, that was the wrong voice. Sorry, I'll do that again.
Great voice, though.
It's beautiful, isn't it, Barthor? The jelly skelly man said. Like being back in the spawn blotch, the frogman responded.
Spawn blotch!
That's grosser than anything I wrote.
Yeah.
Doots found herself marvelling at the fact that they could all understand each other. The universal translator devices they had embedded behind their ears really were a science elf work of wonder.
Thanks, Spock.
No, there would be no speak friend and enter style mess-ups on this quest. Oh, God, it's sappier than an Ent's nutsack in here. Ria Gray muttered in disgust.
Fuck.
I was in the middle of hunting the worst of vermin. Republican anti-union werewolf cops.
We've jumped the Republican anti-union werewolf shark cop.
I've put in brackets here, a raw cab.
Fuck yeah, dude.
That's the shirt right there.
Yeah, it is.
I want to know why the hell we've been called to the Capitol. I think I can help you with that, Ria Gray, a voice at the end of the hall declared. I think I can help you with that, Ria Gray, a voice at the end of the hall declared. Doots knew who it was instantly, and lowered her face in shame. At the grand double doors to the hall stood Omniscia Mookie, flanked by General Swiftfeather. Mookie took a deep breath and looked round at the group, not happy about their first public address and the direction it might take. She rubbed her front legs together for warmth and spoke. When the Mothman prophecies came together under the first Omniscia, a decision was made to preserve and control the flow of information in certain regards. It was thought that by protecting people from knowledge about a possible future, we could offer a guiding hand back to a more positive viewpoint. Like, if they saw someone might mix stripes and checks in a shirt-tie combo, we might keep that knowledge from them, in the hope they might avoid such a fashion faux pas.
Fucking Timmy Bongos.
Mookie snorted a laugh, but when no one so much as smiled, mainly because people wore mail, jerkins and capes in this universe and no one knew what the hell they were talking about, Mookie went on. The problem was, we then started controlling everything we interpreted as threatening. The bad decisions, bad omens, everything from a beating to a genocide we avoided. We contained and deleted, forgetting that sometimes good decisions can lead to catastrophe too.
Mm-hmm.
How did you contain and delete them? Doots sneered, and Mookie saw a fury on her that they had never seen. The prophecies recorded and wiped the memories of anyone who had displayed visions of Armageddon, genocide, war, Hallie said, with a look of sorrow. She had to have been wondering if one of the Mothmen had inadvertently helped the Dank Pit dwarves kill her kin. Tabor
Fuckers!
Tabor steepled his fingers in front of his face and just watched them all. He was a creepy-looking, inky spot that somehow was there and not there at the same time, reflective and absorbent. Looking at him was like looking into a deep despair that no one could escape. The opposite of light. It was no surprise she was suspicious of him.
Yeah, I have a mirror too, Rich.
Thanks, Pit of Despair.
You're welcome, bitch bastards.
The pit got you.
Wait! The pit gets us all, Jeff.
That's right.
That's true. That's true.
Wait! The jelly skelly called Blotch stood straight, her slime changing to a deep red. That time I came to the prophecies and woke up in an apothecarist's tent 3 months later. Was that you guys? No, you gelatinous idiot. That was my cousin's Hellarp's wedding. You drank the clan mage's entire potion bag and nearly died.
Wait, did you just say clam mage?
Clan mage.
Oh, I was like, a clam mage?
But
That
yeah,
makes more
clan mage
sense.
if it works. Barthor erupted into laughter and Blotch joined him. Mookie cut through their revelry. We took something from all of you at some point. Some of you more than once. Mookie couldn't avoid Doote's glare. I find this incredibly redundant. If it was in service of the realm, then what does it matter? Rhea Grey shrugged, not caring about any of it and checking her dual crossbow pistols. Nothing, I suppose, Hallie nodded, unless you've been dreaming of the metal-skulled fiend I have. They stood in silence, a shock descending on each of them. Looks of understanding passed, each one remembering the face of the technomancer as if a sudden recalled dream. He be real? Barthor shuddered, gripping the menacing cudgel tighter. I dreamed I watched him slaughter my kin, Blotch muttered. All of them split in front of me. Doote stood and strode towards Mookie with such menace that Hallie blocked her. How many times did you butchers take my memories? As Hallie ordered her to stand down, Dootes crumpled to the floor and sobbed. By my count, about 200 times. Mookie got up and placed a leg on her friend's head.
Probably not good
No.
for your brain.
Brain damage level.
Yeah.
Mookie got up and placed a leg on their friend's head, feeling tears in their eyes. I'm so sorry, Dootes. Walking to her arm's chest in the hall, Hallie pulled her longsword, the fucker-upper, and her shield, Steve, from the
Reliable.
locker. Old reliable Steve.
Steve.
From the locker and strapped them on. She turned to the rest of them and smirked. How about we all go kill us a nightmare?
Yeah.
Barthor hopped up on a rock face, jump by jump, until he was at the top, then swivelled his eyes frontwards to look out over the forest of Gladecleft, a small swampish land in the middle of the forest. General Swiftfeather and the Moth, who he just assumed they'd brought along as a packed lunch, frogs eat moths, man. What am I going to say?
Do they eat mothmans, though?
Well, he's a frog man. Maybe. I guess maybe we'll find out in the future if I get that bleak with the story.
Yeah, you're probably going to do it. Because you're a
fucked up would
sick
that
son
be?
of a bitch.
This fucking lovable character, and one of the other characters just like blump and eats them like a Yoshi.
We're like fucking like Grogu just eating those eggs.
General Swiftfeather and the Moth had said this was where the Technomancer would be waiting. It had been a week-long trip back to the glade of the Wood Elves, far from the true boggy lands he hailed from, as hot and humid as a post-sex butt crack in the height of a heatwave.
Oh. Holy shit.
He wanted to cave this metal bastard's face in with his cudgel. What do you see, Wartface? Blotch called up to him. Barthor smiled, his throat pouch expanding as he chuckled to himself. Your mama's phone number on every tree asking for some sweet frog action.
Alright, I got a new favorite character.
Yeah, dude.
Blotch laughed, picking up a stone and throwing it at him. I can't remember what voices I've done for these, so I'm just going to do some
Dude, it's
voices.
fine. I don't know.
You can't fuck a jelly skelly. We'd burn your little toad chode directly off your body.
Alright, now I know why there's a frog man in the story.
Yep.
Toad Chode. That is a shirt, if ever I heard one.
Toad, there's so many. Don't kill these characters before we can make shirts and plushies of them.
Your mama would be worth it, he laughed, watching his friend range ahead. Tabor slithered out of Barthor's shadow and put a finger to his lips. Perhaps you should worry less about your bravado and more on the matter at hand. I don't want to be killed because you two can't resolve some unresolved sexual tension. Barthor grabbed the Darkling by the neck and threw him to the ground, then placed the cudgel at his chest. Worry less about me, dark thing, and more about how easy it would be to crush you to dust. In a flash, Tabor shrank back into the shady side of the club and forced it violently into Barthor's face. Don't test me, you sweaty green monstrosity. With that, he had vanished into the shadows, leaving Barthor to lick his wounded pride.
Yeah, with his big frog tongue.
With his big frog tongue, yeah.
That's awesome. You can go in the shadows.
Yeah.
I want that.
You do. You're a Darkling, aren't you? You're a dark pit of despair. That's what we've.
That's yeah. Well, don't tell everybody. Next thing I'll be getting phone calls. Can you fucking kill my whatever?
It's an industry secret that Josh is a Darkling. Keep it under your head.
That's how you get successful in this business.
Oh, I'm sorry. Luckily, we only have a few listeners, so it's fine.
And nobody listens to this. It'll be fine.
Yeah, I must not be a Darkling.
What was that about? Rhea Grey perched in a tree high above them, her robotic eyes scanning the trees. Darklings and Swampers, been at war for about 50 years now. Tabor's Pop and mine met in battle at the mud shores of Greneth. Killed each other. Blood debt was paid, but not like we'd be picking out bed linen or anything. Might have something else to fight pretty soon, Swamper. Rhea turned from the trees to look Barthor in the eyes. You think this thing is real? 6 of us having the same thing appear in our dreams? Barthor ran a tongue over his slimy lips. That's so gross.
That's like Jabba the Hutt when he's talking to Leia.
Yeah. Seems likely. Why? What did you dream? A choice I wouldn't have thought myself capable of. Rhea looked sad, almost distraught. You? The Throgman thought for a second, wondered if he might be revealing a weakness. Saw myself fall, so's I did. Something in my back. No dignity, no honour. Not dying laying pipe in some sweet clutch of spawn.
In his blotch.
Just me and the cold dirt. Rhea went to say something, but both of them turned in unison as a bright flare went off in the forest. Rhea pushed the button behind her ear. General, you see that? Doots pushed through the brush as she played Ain't No Sunshine When She's Gone, convincing the plants the sun had gone in and making the leaves part either side of her makeshift path.
That's brilliant.
Mookie followed her, but they had barely spoken the last 6 days. Doots couldn't bear to look at her so-called friend. Clever, Mookie whispered. Doots grunted in response, but Mookie pressed on. I understand you might not forgive me, you might not forget, but the reason I carved that message on your keytar was to let you know the truth. Secret messages don't really cut it with an amnesiac that's been mind-violated hundreds of times. I didn't know, Doots. I promise I didn't know. Doots stopped, but didn't turn. But yet, you went along with it. Mookie's voice was quiet, ashamed. We fought this thing together, and it killed the closest thing I had to family. Mookie wiped a tear from their eye. I was so confused. I was so scared. I did what I was told to do. You were wrong, Doots said between her clenched teeth. I was. I freely admit it. But I came back for you, to tell you the truth. I could have hid it, but I didn't. Doots spun, so angry she was crying now. That doesn't erase what you did. Mookie looked crestfallen. I know. Doots tucked her chin into her chest. She wanted to shout at Mookie, to be angry with them, but she just couldn't. Mookie was trying to put things right because they cared about her. Most dismissed her as a lunatic or a crackpot, But Mookie's people did this to her. An emptiness filled Doots' belly. Mooks, do you honestly see a future where we're friends again? Mookie smiled, their antenna twitching. I don't need to. I've got something better than visions. I've got hope. As Mookie held a leg out, Doots hesitated before the two of them were assailed by a white light. Hallie rushed to the light-burned clearing to find the rest of them waiting for her, surrounding a metal man lying in a crater. The sounds of buzzing and birdsong surrounded them. Mookie and Doots stood behind him and the rest to either side. Rhea Grey activated her bitching cloak and turned invisible. Before anyone could do anything else, the metallic man sat upright, looking around but not truly seeing them. What is it? Barthor asked, his throat pouch swelling in defence.
What?
The robot turned to Barthor, then Blotch. He was so odd, curious like a child, smiling innocently. Rhea appeared in a flash of blue and brandished a pair of repeating crossbows at him, her knuckles white as she gripped the guns. He barely even registered and instead stood up, but it made Hallie furious. What if this was a trick? She raised the fucker-upper and tried to sound mean, though she sounded like something out of those high fantasy soap operas on the television that got all the details wrong. Talking toad men. Absolute rubbish. Speak soft, stranger. You are either lost or an agent of our prey. The metal man registered no threat, no danger whatsoever. I do not know where I am. What country is this? He took a step forward. Quick as a flash, Doots pulled her axe up from behind him and rested it under his chin. I don't know, General Swiftfeather. This one looks mighty shiny to me. The intruder recoiled at his voice, his eyes wide. Calm down, Doots. Mookie put a leg to Doots' shoulder. This isn't a time for anger. The General needs us ready for anything. The thing turned quickly and held Doots in a long embrace which shocked everyone. Doots Bardsley most of all. Doots! I thought you had died. Mookie looked uncomfortable, looking down at their lower legs before they noticed the man was holding something. Mookie snatched it from his hand and turned away. A rustling was heard as the Omniseer smoothed out a piece of paper and stared at it in disbelief, then showed Doots. Where did you get this? Doots demanded, pushing him away from her. The metal man looked confused. You gave it to me before you pushed me through that portal, before you died. Doots flipped her keytar to show him the message scratched there, the one she had shown Hallie, the message that had bound them all to this quest. It matched the one on the scrap of paper Mookie held. Hallie gave Barthor the signal. I can explain, the robotic man muttered. Barthor brought the back of the cudgel down on the man's head, knocking him out. All of them stood in shock as the stranger fell to the floor unconscious.
Go to sleep, robot child.
What now? Rhea asked. All eyes flitted to Hallie before they followed her gaze and turned to Doots and Mookie. The pair looked uncomfortable, desperate even. Mookie shuffled. I suppose we should tie him up, continue to our objective? Hallie nodded. This was becoming more and more confounding by the minute. Tabor slithered back to the camp after 5 minutes and nudged Hallie awake. She had slept for about 5 minutes, and the small rest she had gotten made her feel like she had gone 10 rounds with a bottle of Burt Butts Hurt Guts magical ale.
Whoa.
14 vomits or your money and stomach lining back.
Oh my god. That's a 2-day hangover.
That is a 2-day hangover.
Where can we purchase this?
Yeah, and when are we getting them?
I mean, 2-day hangovers, aren't they just a thing now after 30?
Oh yeah, when you're like 35.
Yeah,
it's just, yeah.
Hallie noticed that Tabor was keen to avoid Doots. It made sense. Shadows couldn't live so close to the light. General Swiftfeather, I found something. They all entered the clearing together, Blotch carrying the metal stranger over her broad jelly shoulders, but Hallie felt as if she were truly alone. The black tree stood in the clearing as it had in her nightmare, as menacing now as it was then. She took steps towards it again, unable to hear the words of discouragement from her fellows. In the middle of the trunk of cables, a metal monitor sat, and as she turned it to herself, red numbers counted down. 3, then 2, then 1. The explosions, even as far off as they were, rung loud in their ears. but the sound came after a piercing light that blinded and a gust of wind that threatened to pull the trees from the ground.
Uh-oh.
When the cacophony was over, Hallie climbed the tree as no other in the party could, eager to get to high ground. The major cities of Ithia, the White Lands, the swamps, the Dominion of Men, the stone city of dwarves, the Vale of Shadows, all were ablaze, as they were in Hallie Swiftfeather's dream. And miles away, the creature that was once Timmy Blackcrest and the AI Eden smiled. To be continued.
Oh my god!
God, our heroes are not doing so hot, Rich.
This is fucking bad, man. Why are you making me feel shit?
Yeah, how dare you make me...
Because Christmas.
make me feel my feelings.
Yeah, I felt all kinds of emotions.
Yeah. So I've got another part of this bit to tell, but I'm gonna swap it out next week because I don't want to, you know.
You don't want to make us sad?
I don't want to make anyone too sad.
I think people have to wait
great.
an extra week for this one, and thus for the next one, and then the one after. So you're really giving people some blue balls.
Yeah, you're blue. Yeah, dude.
You got to break it up. I've got some stories running concurrently. I can't
That's
do them all.
true.
I can't
Just try to fucking
I wrote down a note here I wanted to ask you at the end of the story. You said the Frogman and the Darkling killed each other?
Their dads killed each other.
Their dads, like our dads did.
Yeah, I remember.
Yeah, in the Bros Before Pros Wars.
Yeah, in the B4 wars.
Yeah.
That's B4.
Yeah, this is why we had to do this as an accord.
There were no blood debts or anything because Josh and I both didn't particularly care for him.
We were like, good. I was like, yeah, good. We're best friends now. That's rules.
Fine. We're best friends.
Get fucked, dads.
Thanks for taking out the trash.
Looks like you took out the trash, Dad.
I am having a bit of a problem with these stories, is in that I am trying to create some characters to die because it's a wartime thing, and then I'm liking the characters too much, and I'm just adding all the time.
Well, we could be like, this is like your hated J.K. Rowling, right? And just like kill off like some random twin that doesn't really matter because there's one of them that's left. Yeah.
You got a spare.
Yeah.
Well, the thing is, as soon as you introduced Barthor, I was like, I love this character, but I know he's going to die. It's fine.
Yeah. One good thing about Theranos is, like, you turn into a ghost or a skeleton, and you're not even dead.
That's true. When you're dead here, you're dead. Unless you're another version of yourself, like Dukes
That
is.
universe is crazy.
Yeah, the rules of the three realms are strange.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know which one's worse to live in and to die in.
Well,
Tune in next week.
Jeff's is pretty horrible.
Mine
dude.
has office work, so maybe mine, I think.
Yeah, probably, It's worse than
none
death.
of my heroes have had to do a spreadsheet, so...
This is true. They've never had to go to their third meeting today.
A 4:00 meeting on a fucking day before Christmas break. Yep.
I had a 2.5 hour meeting today.
Jeez.
Bro, I'd
That's
have been
how you know
like...
I live in the worst universe.
I would just stood up and been like, boo, the whole time.
Fucking Rich was sitting in that meeting after the first hour and a half, like, where is the horrible baboon man? Where's my suffer?
Let him kill me now.
At least a cricket, man. Baboon man.
I should have taken my Homer Simpson eyes painted on the lens of glasses.
And then bring out your second pair.
Yeah. Also, a peek behind the curtain. I wrote this story last week, and then I read it yesterday, and I was like, I don't like it, and I started again from like page 2. So
Yeah. That's commitment. That's crazy.
It's fucked up perfectionism. Don't get it, anyone.
I don't know. Artists being weirdly perfectionist? I don't know if that's a trait.
New to me.
Yeah, I don't know.
No one else does that.
Jeff and I are like, we're good. I'm done. Story good. Me done.
Yeah, pretty much. I finished my story and I was like, oh, I forgot to do this thing. It's fine.
Yeah, it's fine. Yeah, I do that all the time too. I'm like, whatever.
I'll get that joke next time.
We'll get them next time, Chip.
There were weird parallels again this episode. Bells.
Yeah, swamps.
Bells. Meetings.
The word viscous.
Viscous. Yeah. One brain.
It's
with a hive
weird.
mind.
We are the technomancer. Fuck.
Do you know what? As well, I can't remember when it was. When we were in a break, I checked the Discord, and Phantom Thief Goofus had said Rich has that dog in the Masters, and I was saying something about dog before. I was doing the really bad impression, wasn't I? So.
Oh wow.
How do
it's
they
weird
know?
that they are. Yeah.
That confluence. It's so weird, man. Mm-hmm. It's like looking at the clock and it's like 2:22, like every day, right? Like you look at the clock, it's like 2:22 or 12:34, and you just keep seeing it.
I saw the number 52 literally fucking everywhere while DC Comics was doing their 52 event.
Oh, that's weird. Wonder why.
The entire purpose of the event was that all the characters were seeing 52 everywhere, and that was giving them a hint about the multiverse.
That's clever.
Just in my everyday life, I would look up and it would be like 452.
Yeah.
You know why that is? It's you've got to follow the command of the person with 52 pips on their collar.
Oh, Super Grand Admiral General Stein.
Ultimate General Admiral.
I'm sorry for anyone who doesn't watch Star Trek. That was a Star Trek deep cut.
Pips.
It's like they're weighed down on one side.
Yeah, they look like those like North Korean fuckers who have like their whole suit is like covered in medals, and it's like, what the fuck were you doing?
5-meter swimming award, 10-meter swimming award.
Yeah,
he's wearing like the like disco ball suit jackets that like Daft Punk wears, except just pips instead.
It's all pips. Oh, damn, that's cool.
That is cool. Ultimate General Admiral.
Ultimate General Admiral. God Admiral. It's like a fucking like Dragon Ball character, dude.
Pretty much. Yeah. Your story was fucking awesome, by the way.
Yeah,
Like,
it was too good for this show.
The thing about Rich's stories is that like they're real stories that could be in a real book.
Yeah,
Well, they will be one day.
That's true.
Yeah, next to my horrible shit.
No,
Yay.
I'm not having that.
Just fire me now, boys.
Next to your stories that literally no one is tuning in to see, and only those.
Well, prove it. Prove it. Donate to the Patreon. Let's go.
Yeah. If you want to prove to Josh that his stories are actually good, you need to go to patreon.com/brosb4pros and give us your fucking money and let Josh know that his stories are good.
Tell people about us. Go on Reddit and say Theranos is back. And also, there's 2 better universes than Theranos.
Two as of yet unnamed universes also exist.
Spooky Moon World and Rich's sad killing of characters world.
Yeah.
Miseryland.
Yeah.
Yeah, give us money. It's Christmas. We deserve it. Wait, please.
It's
that's-
January something, I think, when this comes out.
Yeah, when this comes out, it'll be like January 6th.
But like right now, all 3 of us are like Tiny Tim. We're like coughing in the corner. We might not make it. We might not make it through. Please, Ghost of Future Patreon supporter.
I have to buy me mom cheesecake for Christmas. Please, sir.
I got tuberculosis. They calling me a lunger around town. I need your help.
Consumption Junction.
Give us Patreon money, or at least a Christmas goose, sir.
A fine and fatly Christmas goose for my goodly wife.
Patreon donation for everyone.
Oh man,
Reese's as Scrooge. That's me, Scrooge.
that would be my 3rd favourite Christmas Carol adaptation after Muppets Christmas Carol and Scrooged.
That's high praise.
There you go.
Hell yeah.
I went to look at my cauldron and it had dookies in it.
I remember that part of A Christmas Carol.
It
Yeah,
was a bedpan. They used bedpans back then.
all of the ghosts are showing him a terrible future.
And he's like, good.
He's like, I know, it doesn't matter to me. I'm separate from the world somehow. I don't know.
I'm in the story, but also tell the story.
That's what he's got to do. That's what he's got to do.
Patreon.com/brosbefore-pros.
Yeah. Like, genuinely, tell everyone about the podcast. We're way too good to have as few fine listeners as we do.
Yes, they are. The few we have are very great.
Yeah,
but
we appreciate
more
the
is
hell
better.
out of all of you, for
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah.
We just want more.
Yeah. Tell your wife, tell your kids.
Let's dig this. Let's get so much we dig too deep and unleash a Balrog on
Yeah.
this bitch.
That's my goal in life.
Yeah. I just want to watch shit burn. Let's go.
Dig too deeply into Patreon and find the Balrog at the middle of it.
Too greedily.
Get that sweet Patreon mithril.
Ooh.
Just a little bit of it to make that one ring.
Yeah, yeah.
Not the one ring, but the one. You know what I mean.
Yeah.
The one, but not the one.
Not the
No,
one.
no. The cock ring.
Oh shit!
How has that not happened in a Darano story yet?
It has before. I've said that. I've done it
okay.
before.
All right. So
We do have a review this time,
Oh shit! Yeah.
which you guys can give to us on Apple Podcasts. You can review Bros Before Pros there.
perfect.
It's entitled. It's from Werewolf Bar Mitzvah, and it's entitled "iTunes is the worst. Bros Before Pros is the best."
That's true.
Nice.
It's me, Werewolf Bar Mitzvah. Yeah, that doesn't ring a bell for like anyone I know, but trust me, I'm internet famous.
Damn. If he's internet famous, I'm internet ultimate general god or whatever
You got
we
50,
said.
52 pips.
Ultimate God General.
52 internet pips.
52, I'm seeing it again.
Oh shit.
Bros Before Pros is like drinking a fine wine out of the skull of your enemy while pressing the jump scare button on your rad hot rod spaceship because you thought it was the hyperdrive button, but now you're just scaring the people who crew your ship. Punch
Damn.
it, G-Man. 5 stars.
Best review ever.
Amazing.
Thank
Yep.
you.
Great.
Werewolf Bar Mitzvah is a good supporter of everything this social circle. So it's
This is true.
yeah,
Of the 4 universes? Now there's 4, I
yeah,
guess.
the real one.
What's the 4th one?
Star Trek.
Oh. It's all canon to Bros Before Pros.
That's right.
Prompt bot, are you ready to pick? Thank you, prompt bot. All right, shut up now, prompt bot. This isn't your
Fuck
show.
you.
Can you pick the first prompt, please? The first one is Politicians by Brian. How much sex does he have? Find out after this sentence. Sexton.
Damn! A ton!
What was that one again?
Politicians.
Politician.
Oh,
I'll probably change it to like mayors or something like that.
Yeah.
Next prompt, please, prompt bot. Oh, Ziggurats by
What's the difference, am I right? Politicians and ziggurats?
by Axe Me Bro here, Wizard. Yeah, there you go.
Ziggurats, huh?
Ziggurats and politicians. There we go. This one's going to be
What the
interesting.
fuck to do with that?
That's pretty easy. I got it. I wrote my story
He's
already.
done it.
See you
He's
next
done
time.
it.
Well, not all of us can be Josh, inky blackness of hate.
Jeff, it's okay. Each second of my life is a painful eternity. That's how I had time to just write my story.
You just are imitating life, right?
Whichever. I don't even know the difference anymore. You know? Who am I?
I don't even know anymore.
Right?
No, an inky black
Oh.
hole.
I hope after Christmas my New Year's resolution is find myself.
Oh man, that's so bleak. We've got a Patreon. We've mentioned it 5 times. Please donate to it so that Josh can find himself. Hopefully, he can find himself on a $5 bill or something like that.
Jeff is just crying in the corner right now. I'm trying
not to apply what you're saying about yourself to my life in any way.
Don't look too hard.
Full-time mental exercise.
Yeah.
Don't stare into the abyss, because the abyss stares back at you, Jeff.
It stares back with one good eye.
I'm really trying not to look as hard as I can, so that's why I'm quiet.
So, patreon.com/bros before pros. That's a B and a 4. If you like what we do and want to support us, because we're good boys spelled BOI, you can go over there and give what you can. Our first tier lets you suggest prompts and gives you access to the stories. The next tier is all of the above.
Pen pals, I think.
Yeah, that's the first one.
Something's
Pen pals.
Yeah.
It is, you're right. And then Hender Saints is the next level, and that is all of the previous plus our redesigned by committee podcast, which we'll probably do another one the next time we record, right? Because we're about a month or so out.
Rainbow Bright.
That is, we take an established IP like
Rainbow Bright,
Superman, or
Cricket Man.
Cricket Men. Yep. Cryptids.
Yeah.
There we go. We could do something with that.
Do we also allow people to suggest prompts for that?
We will.
They pay the Hender Saints level?
Yeah, why not? We'll say that.
Yeah, might as well.
And you can suggest.
I thought we were already doing that, and I was pretending to ask.
No.
But it turns out we weren't.
We weren't. We talked about it, but we never confirmed it. But we will definitely do that. And then the masterpieces level is the next level, all of the rest, plus when we release our year compilation of the book, dependent on how many contributors we have, you'll be an official backer, get a PDF of the book, and we'll probably put your name in the book as a creator, producer, dick sucker, whatever. On that note...
Now I really want to donate to this podcast. I can be a professional dick sucker.
Yeah, you always could. I believe in you.
It's what our mums always wanted for us. On that note, we close the cover on this.
You can also follow us on Twitter.
I was going to do that after.
At Bros Before Pros Pod.
While you can, until Muskrat takes it down and burns it all the way to the ground.
All of our links are at brosbeforepros.card.co. That's 2 R's in card.
Yeah.
I'm going there right now.
And loving it.
Wow, this website has so many features.
Look at all these links.
Look at how terrible it is that you can't like anything anymore or put any of your links on it. On that note, we're going to close the cover.
They rolled that back the same day. Don't worry. It's still working.
God damn you,
man, bitch about cummerbunds and web design.
On that note, we close the cover on this week's compilation. Josh, I'm going to pick on you this week. Where can our fine listeners find out more about Mr. Henderson?
Look in the darkness of your soul, and I will be there.
Bleak.
Always. That translated to English means you go to YouTube and watch Continue. Or go to Twitter while you can and go to @Henderson1983, where I do stuff. You can follow me on Instagram. I'm Field1983, and I post pictures of all the cool toys I make. So go do that.
They're pretty fucking sick.
Good.
I made a Darth Cadus. He's sitting on my desk right now. I gotta paint his eyes yet, but he's almost done.
I can't
there you go.
Wait. No, seriously, go follow that account. Like, he posts some sick ass shit.
It's really good. Your Mara Jade was so good.
Yeah.
Yeah, then they made a real one.
That's not as good. It won't be as good.
Yeah, I'm just like, I'm ahead of the curve here.
Yeah.
They're copying you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Art imitates excellence, is what I heard.
Yeah, the void stares back.
But it's a void of excellent ability.
That's basically what it is.
Don't
That's
snort at me,
basically
you
what it
bitch.
is.
I was paying you a compliment.
That's what it is, right? Because doesn't do me any favors.
Bleed.
Jeff, where can we find you?
Save him before we have to whittle a noose for him.
Whittle?
Yeah, it's a
Give
wooden
a
noose.
wooden
so it doesn't,
noose?
Yeah.
What a noose. What the
Knit
fuck?
a noose.
Christmas noose for everyone.
A fine and fatly Christmas noose
That's
for everyone.
the smartest joke we've ever done.
You can find me on Twitter, if that still exists, at _Jeff Pennington. You can find my all of my cool artwork at jeffpennington.art. And I do another podcast with Josh called M-Class Podcast. It's all about Star Trek. Go check that shit out.
Yeah.
And there's links on my website where you can like buy merch I've made, or you can, if that is still up and hasn't been CBS struck yet.
Paramount really hates us.
But the links also will lead you to every other social media I'm on and a Patreon that you could join there as well. If you just got so much money you want to give to me, then you can join.
If you just like Jeff and hate the rest of us.
That would be fucked.
You can bypass us if you want, for a month.
Yeah.
I think that's sort of
But you better come back, bitches.
I'll find you.
Yeah, check out M-Class Podcast. Check out my website. Check out my Twitter. Check out my ass.
It's too late.
Yeah. That story was based on Jeff's real life.
Pretty much the opposite, I would say.
Your pancake butt.
I have...
Do you have a pancake butt? No. I don't know. Whose butt was it based on?
I believe Rich is the master of Aster.
The master of disaster.
I have got a butt.
Prove it.
Rich, where
right.
can people find you on the internet?
OnlyFans.
OnlyFans? Fuck
You can follow me on Twitter at @MastersRich. I have a website called boldlyprose.com that has some of my writing on it, but not nearly enough to justify the amount I pay for it each year. Yeah. You can follow my other two shows that I do with my friends, other friends that is, to Pond's Theatre on Subspace. You can find that at ttos.cool. And Toonhounds, which is a cartoon podcast, which I do with my friend Spivsy at Toonhounds on Twitter.
I can't believe you have other friends.
I know. I'm just a veritable joy magnet, aren't I?
Can you tell it's like 3 days before Christmas? We are like miserable.
Oh, do you know what? I'm more excited for my wife's birthday than I am for Christmas, because it's my wife's birthday on Christmas Eve.
Christmas Eve is better than Christmas Day.
Yeah,
That's true.
and she is great, and she's a foosball champ. So
Yeah. You have to get a foosball table now.
yeah. Oh, I should get her one for her birthday, shouldn't I?
You should, dude, yes.
So
Don't listen to this, Rachel.
Yeah.
Turn it off.
Turn it off 5 minutes ago.
Turn it off 5 minutes ago.
Like everybody else probably.
she stopped listening when we said about anything to do with money. She's like, ugh, get out of here, make your own money, you bitches.
I think that's probably somewhere around 75% of our listeners.
Yeah. Makes sense.
But yeah, if you want to suggest prompts, you have to pay for them. If you want to support us, you have to pay for it. Basically, you can support the show in so many ways. The best way is Patreon, but you can go and review us. You can share us around, not in a sexual way. You can share us around,
in a sexual way.
recommend
Why
us
not?
to people. But yeah, go and do some stuff.
If
Go and
you
do
want to
that
help
shit.
us out and you don't have, you're Tiny Tim, you don't have any money, you're dying of some sort of Middle Ages disease.
Middle Ages.
leeches.
Whatever. You can just go to Twitter and just retweet what we tweet.
Yeah.
Like and retweet what we tweet. That would actually get us out further into that horrible fucking algorithm.
I'm telling you, man, go to Reddit and talk about us
Yeah.
and say we're idiots and say even if you hate us, be like, don't you fucking hate these idiots?
If you, we got about 20 extra listeners from a Reddit thread on the Continue Reddit. It was insane.
And go to our podcast. That's
Just go, wherever you talk about podcasts on Reddit, I assume
Yeah.
that it's on there. Yeah. There's entire Reddits for women's feet. I assume there's a podcast Reddit.
Prove it.
Go in there and tell everybody about us and how much you love the show.
Yeah. It really helps us. It really helps
yes.
us.
Now that we're done just fucking begging at the end of our podcast.
It's Christmas. We gotta beg.
Gotta beg. We're ringing the bell and outside Macy's with our Bros Before Pros bucket.
That would be more legitimate and on the level than the people who actually do that.
Do they have that in England?
No.
I was gonna say I thought that was like a very like American, like New York City thing.
I know
What is
way
the
too
name of
much
the-
about America.
What
Do
is
you,
the name
though?
of the organization that does that?
Yeah, do you know that?
No.
We're just quizzing him now.
Well,
Salvation Army.
Salvation Army is actually like a really fucking corrupt ass criminal organization. So don't give them any money.
No.
Yeah, they're not
Give
as
it to
cool as the
us.
Destruction Navy.
That's the regular Navy.
That's the Navy. Get fucked, 7 Seas.
People are missing out on all this grade A comedic content if they
they
turn the
turned it
podcast
off.
I mean,
We turned it off
essentially,
way too
we've just
early.
forgot to stop recording. Because this
Pretty
is what we
much.
do
That's
after
basically
the
it.
fact.
Yeah, that's basically it.
We're trying to stretch this shit out to 1 hour is what we're doing.
2 hour show at this point.
It's the end of the year, but it would be remiss of us not to say thank you for all the support you've given us so far, because it genuinely does mean a lot to us. Feel free to, when we put stuff on Twitter, engage with it, because we love talking to you guys, and we all have access to
absolutely.
the Twitter. So you might get one of us, you might get all of us. You never know in a conversation, because we all log in and we all post shit on there.
You might get me. I'm here too. Did you record already?
No,
No,
we're
could be on it
recording
later,
next
don't worry.
Tuesday. So
I'll be there
See-
with bells on my dick and balls.
see you next Tuesday, Reese's.
Oh, nice.
I don't get it.
Yep. You'll get it. Anyway, have a happy festive period, or as happy as you can.
It's January.
The festive Januarimus. Yeah, that one. I hope you had a good festive period, and thank you for all your support so far. We've got a lot of good stuff coming in this year, and we're just happy you're along for the ride with it. So we'll see you in 2 weeks. We love you all. Bye-bye.
Bye.
I love you too.